dear students. I hope you are doing well. I welcome you on the online lectures of CEC. As you must have attended and must have seen my earlier lecture that was dealing with the nature of psychology, and today we'll be continuing in relation to that part, that would be in relation to the goals of psychology. Now first of all, before I start the goal of psychology, I must tell you that psychology has also certain aim. It has also certain objectives, the way we have. As a student, you all have an objective or aim or ambition to grow in life. No doubt you have an aim to become a good human being. At the very same time, you want to grow in your life and to be a successful person. And for that, psychology also aims for. Now, if you recollect your earlier lecture that was dealing with nature of psychology, it was deliberating upon that psychology is a scientific study of behavior. So when it scientifically studies the behavior, it not only confined to the one aspect, actually it is a multifaceted discipline which focuses on a person's human development, social behavior, cognitive processes, the way the information is being processed by an individual, that is all dealt by this discipline of psychology. In that lecture, we had discussed about two various important issues also. That was what? That was mind versus body problem and free will and determinism. In mind and body problem, we had ultimately come to that conclusion that there has to be a congruence or interaction between our mental processes and bodily processes. In the free will and determinism, we had made a conclusion that our behavior is not regulated by the past events, rather our present is governed by our free will, by our potential, wherever we want to grow, in which direction, that is more important, because we all people have a potential and ability, and where we want to grow it, we need to move in that direction. Now coming to the goals of psychology. Now as I just told you that it is a multifaceted discipline, it means that in psychology we are dealing with various processes. So taking that same perspective into account, psychology does what? Psychology deals with basic 4 goals of psychology. And if you look at my visual information which I am showing to you people in the slides, number 2 slides deal with its 4 goals in totality. The first, you can see, it is to describe. Second is to explain. Third is to predict. And fourth one is to explain. Now description means that the first goal which it deals with talks about that whatever the process is taking place, whether it's in an animal or in a human, whosoever is an organism, whatever the action is taking place, we need to describe that process or phenomena. Second thing, goal which you can see, second goal which is dealing with to explain that why it has taken place, why this particular mode of action, why this particular thought has taken place is dealt by second goal of psychology, that is what? That is to explain. Third goal which you can see, to predict. Predict means to foresee that whether how much of the probability is there that this particular feature is going to occur in future also. And the fourth one, which is not also rather a very major goal of psychology, which is, I would say, it is the end result of the psychology, that is to bring a change in the behavior of individual, but change how it would be transforming an individual through certain controlling techniques, through certain putting a check upon that person. Psychology would be aiming to control the behavior of that person. Now slowly we will be moving individually to the various goals of psychology, but you have to keep one point into account, that psychology is a scientific study of behavior and it aims to bring a change in the behavior of a person as a normal person or as a productive person who can contribute to the society. Now number 1, that is description. You can see from my slide that it is dealing with that, the description phenomena. Now, for example, you are viewing something, you talk about the various features, or you look at somebody, you start describing about that person without explaining the another features, but you are only on the basis of the surface level, the way you are looking at the person, you start describing about that person. If you have an interaction with that person, you describe with that the person with the another features. Now, when we talk about the description, now this description, how it is different from a layman. Now, when a psychologist is describing the behavior, he would not only be focusing upon the person as a layman, just without any conscious effort that what we have to say, what we not to say. The psychology or the psychologist would be focusing upon the behavior of that individual from that perspective, whether it is a normal behavior or it is an abnormal behavior. If it is a normal behavior, in which categorization he has to be kept, and if he finds that some flaw in the behavior of that person, how he has to label that behavior and how he has to study that behavior. So that is a basic difference between a layman's view and a psychologist's view. Now you look at the slide in which you can see that there is an adolescent boy and who is viewing the landscape. While viewing the landscape, you find that he is enjoying the scenic beauty. He is finding that there is so much of serenity in the natural surroundings. He is enjoying viewing the rising sun. He can see the greenery and he is feeling so calm and composed by looking at that landscape. He is feeling that I'm so fortunate that I have got a chance to come over to this landscape and to view that particular spot. Now, making you people more to comprehend with this goal of psychology, you have your exams. For example, here are your exams after 10 or 12 days. Now, what you do? You start preparing for an exam. Well in time, you start preparing for an exam. There are different kind of students. Some students start preparing for an exam the moment date sheet is being announced. But there are some students who start preparing for their exams or for the theory and the practical exams or the assignments. After 15 or 20 days, the semester commences. Now, this is a descriptive feature of that person, that student who has been very lazy bones to start for the preparing of the exam. On the other hand, the student who is very much worried, who was concerned about his examination, about his academic results, and ultimately what he did, he started preparing for his exams well in time. Now at the very same time, you are prepared for that. This is a descriptive feature which we will be analyzing. Now description means that to describe that phenomena, and it is normally studied in relation to the various research methodology which is used in psychology, like case studies are there, observation method is there, natural observation is there, survey approach is there. There is a self-test method also, as a result of which we can study the behavior of that person. Now coming to the second goal. Now one thing I must tell you, that description goal deals with what aspect, only with what aspect, not with the another aspect. Now second goal of psychology, which goes parallel to description, is to explain. Now in the explanation, you can see that we delve deeper into that why this particular thing has taken place. Why this particular boy who has come to view the landscape, why has he come here? What were the forces which had made him to come and enjoy this landscape? Is he happy or not? If he is having some kind of anxiety that I have come all alone to enjoy the scenic beauty of this place, suddenly if there comes a thunderstorm and the situation becomes very worst, what would happen? This is general hypothesis. Or if some wild animal does come, what would I do? So such type of anxieties are being dealt by psychology. Now taking the same example of that student, the student goes to an examination hall to give an exam. So when he goes to an exam, he has a different kind of anxiety. Although he has well prepared for that exam, but he has an anxiety whether he would be able to complete all the questions or not. The first thing that he would be knowing, he would be having the anxiety that although he is prepared for the exam, would all the 5 questions he be able to attempt, or Would he be able to complete his paper in time? So many thoughts, so many anxieties. Or it might be possible, he might be thinking that he might not be able to do his exam well. So such type of thoughts might be creeping into his brain, which might be bringing some anxiety. So this is why. So why is also dealt by the psychology. Now when normally talk about the goals of psychology, description and explanation, they go parallel to each other. Since explanation deals with the why aspect of the behavior, there have been various theories which have been developed by the psychologists in order to explain the behavior. Like Pavlov's classical conditioning theory, it has been very popular in order to explain the behavior of a person. Bowlby's attachment theory, Freud's psychoanalytic theory, they have been very important to understand the behavior of a person, especially the forces why this particular behavior is taking place. Even the parents also use these theories in order to bring a change in the behavior of their children. If some child is performing some wrong behavior, they take an help of these theories in order to bring a change in their behavior, so that their behavior gets changed. Their behavior turns out to be a very normal behavior. It turns out to be that kind of a behavior which is acceptable to the society. Now coming to the third goal of psychology, which talks about the prediction. Now as the nomenclature says, prediction means foresee. You can forecast the situation. Now taking an example of that same boy who was viewing the landscape, I told you that in number 2 goal, which was dealing with an explanation, he might be having an anxiety that why did he come to this place? In case if some wild animal comes, what would be the situation? Now in prediction, he might be foreseeing the situation that the same kind of anxiety might be prevailing again when he goes to that place, or if he visits similar kind of place, would that kind of anxiety be prevailing in him and he would be feeling uncomfortable. Now making you people more clear, if you take an example of that student regarding whom I was talking about, that he has to prepare for an exam and he is to appear in that exam. Now in that exam, before he was to go to an examination hall, he was having little anxiety that whether he would be able to complete his exam in time or not. Now when he went to an examination hall, he had an anxiety that he might not be able to complete his exam in time because of his slow speed of writing. Now what happened? When he saw that question paper, he found that it was very lengthy. Being a theoretical paper, it was very lengthy, and due to his low speed or the slow speed of writing, he won't be able to complete it in time. So he was under that fear that he, being a very brilliant student, he might not be able to achieve his target. Now somehow he had been very well organized in completing that paper, and he came out of the examination hall very happily by feeling that he has done very good and no problem in completing his paper. Now after 2 days, again when he has his exam, he might be predicting that the next paper which I am going to give you tomorrow or day after tomorrow, as per my date sheet, this paper is going to be very lengthy, and I have that kind of anxiety and I might not be able to complete my question paper this time. So what he has to do? He is forecasting, he is forcing the situation. When he is forcing the situation, he is trying to study the cause and effect relationship. While studying the cause and effect relationship, he will start working upon it. Because as a psychology, this thing would be governing him, that you have to be well prepared, that when you would be giving to appear in that exam, you first 2 days prior to giving your exam, you prepare a little bit in jotting down the important points and writing them more speedily, so that you are not having that kind of anxiety. Now once it is being done, what would happen? He would be having no anxiety. He would be partially having a less anxiety when he would be going to an examination hall to appear for an exam. It means that predicting the behavior is a very important goal of psychology, which gives a direction to the psychology as we need to control our behavior. Now this cause and effect relationship, which is dealt by the prediction goal of psychology, it brings a direction to the next aspect, which is an ultimate goal of psychology, that is to control and change the behavior of a person. In the prediction, you find certain forces. Now the prediction deals with what, why and how. How this particular thing has taken place, it is totally dealt by the goal of psychology, that is the third number goal, that is a prediction. Now when we have predicted the behavior, we have described the behavior, we have explained the behavior, we have predicted the behavior, now comes the end result, which is an ultimate goal of psychology. Now the ultimate goal of psychology, you can see the visual information, that is there are two people. There are two people sitting face to face. One seems to be a person who is a client, another one is a person who is giving the counseling or who is a psychologist. Now first thing I must make you people clear that what is control? Control is an ultimate goal of psychology. It is not the end goal of psychology, rather it is the most vital goal of psychology, which brings a change in the behavior of a person as a constructive person, as a person who is a great contributor in any area. Maybe it is in the area of sports, or maybe in the area of academics, or maybe in the area of the dancing, maybe in the area of the artistic field. So control refers to that. It deals with what, why, how, and how to bring the change. It deals with the various psychological programs, and it gives a direction to a person where he has to go. Now goal of psychology in relation to control is that, for example, there is a person whose behavior is very deviant, right? He gets distracted by so many alluring forces which are prevailing in the society. Now for example, there's one student, he feels that he's not getting able to concentrate upon his academics because of his more involvement in the social media. Now when he is wasting his time in social sites, he is realizing himself that his behavior is not normal as per the societal norms. And once he is realizing, he wants to get rid of this addiction, but since addiction is so severe, he is not getting able to overcome that addiction. So what would do? Psychology would make him to understand, to go through certain psychological intervention through various techniques, as a result of which his behavior would be influenced, controlled, and it would be transformed as a normal person. Maybe the intervention may be like that: you have to restrict yourself to Facebook or Twitter or to LinkedIn or to WhatsApp only for the 2 hours. You are supposed to check your mails only in the morning for half an hour. So such type of strategies, controlling techniques, controlling aspect deals with what? It deals with the psychological intervention program. Now we have discussed all 4 goals of psychology. Now 4 goals of psychology, when they are clubbed together, that becomes a basic purpose of psychology where it wants to move. Now I give you a simple example to explain the goals of psychology in a better manner, I think, which would be very much clear to you. There is a one student, right? So one student, he has a social fear of attending any kind of get together, because when dealing with these goals of psychology, he feels that whenever he goes to any social event, he has an anxiety. He can't face the people. Now when dealing with the description and explanation, he believes that when I go to some social get together, I feel that people don't like talking to me. People don't, although his personality is quite good, but he feels that people don't take any interest in interacting with me. Maybe the lacuna is in my personality. I am not that attractive, or I am not that type of person. Another thing, I might be that introvert that I don't talk to those people, or they don't show any interest in me. Now he predicts a situation that next time again, when I would be going to attend any social gathering, it might be possible that people might not be again interacting with him, they might not be liking him, and ultimately he would be having humiliation of social anxiety, and social anxiety in relation to that people don't like to him, and again he'll have to have a very unpleasant feeling in the entire get together. Now when he has realized that he is to curb his anxiety because it is not socially approved behavior, so what he has to do? He has to take the help of a psychology where he has described his phenomena, explained his phenomena, and he knows that this type of situation of anxiety is going to happen again in the future. Now taking that help of the controlling psychological intervention program, he would do what? Through mindfulness, through breathing techniques, or through some other psychological interventions where he need to break his thought that he has got some lacuna in his personality and he is a person who is very impressive and he can have a proper talk with the people, he can interact with the people in the society and people are going to respond him. So when this type of psychological intervention he thinks of it, it is going to bring a change in his behavior, and ultimately it would be able to make him to a more responsible person. He would turn out to be partially extrovert where he would be enjoying the social gatherings. He would be able to overcome his social anxiety. Now my dear students, these 4 goals of psychology clearly state that normally we all people have some or other kind of problems in our behavior. But we have a fear. We feel that in case if we'll be discussing with somebody, with some expert, it would be stigmatic for them. It would be turn out to be something, it would spoil the reputation. But it is not like that. There are so many behaviors in our personality, or there are so many personality lacunas which we do have, which we try or which we can resolve on our own. But sometimes we need to take a help of a professional and to take a help of a psychologist when this problem is being stated. To those psychologists, psychology can easily help us to find out that what has been the reason behind this particular behavior, whether it is highly acceptable behavior or it is something very highly unacceptable behavior to the society. So we should not hesitate at all in taking the help of a professional in order to deal with our day-to-day life problems. Now when we take a help of some professional who can help us to explain the behavior, who can help us how to foresee the situation, how we can control our behavior, or how we can influence the people in the society, it would be fruitful not only for ourselves but also for the entire mankind also. Because basically we are a social animal, we cannot live in isolation. Now dear students, you have to prepare the assignment or you have to understand the goals of psychology, taking the first lecture into account that was dealing with the nature of psychology, that how psychology is a scientific study of the mind and a behavior through that perspective, how on the basis of that particular perspective various schools of psychology had evolved, and on that particular basis how psychology is aiming with certain goals. That is, how does it help us to describe our behavior, how does it help us to explain our behavior, how does it is fruitful in predicting our behavior for the future, as well as how it can keep a check on our behavior so that we can turn out to be a highly normal, acceptable and highly contributing, productive and constructive person for the society. Thank you.